Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Today we are going to take a look at the Magic Square MS-01 Light of Freedom, and it's their take on a masterpiece Optimus Prime. Before we get into the figure, let's take a look at the packaging. Here on the packaging we have a nice picture of Optimus Prime with the Magic Square logo, everything on the side, as well as Light of Freedom. We see some pictures of Optimus in many different forms throughout the back, as well as Magic Square on the top. Nothing else too important on the box. So let's move on to the figure. Of course, in the box as well, you have a collector's card, which is pretty nice. It's actually quite a thick plastic overall. Shows some nice tech specs on the back as well. Nice glossy finish. As well as the poster board of instructions, which it's pretty helpful for the most part. It is not that difficult to transform this guy. He's pretty much like if you would have MP10. Transformation is pretty much the same, besides a little bit of feet difference, but it does vary, so it really is up to you and how you want to interpret it. Also inside the box, we have a second helmet, which is a little more rounded. I prefer the helmet that's on him, but this is an option. Two different damaged windshields here for the front of the cab, as well as two damaged pieces for the side of him where he was attacked by Megatron and looks like stabbed from that piece that he threw at him. A little bit of battle damage here on the other side as well, but that's about it for these pieces. As well as his gun, which overall is about the way you would expect a Prime gun to look like. Nice silver detail back here with the black throughout, as well as molding detail throughout as well. Lastly, he does come with his axe, which does separate here from there, and you can just connect it there from the hand. Overall, not too bad. It looks a little shorter than it should be, but again, it's your preference. Moving on to the figure himself, overall, I really enjoy this Prime. I do have a little gripes here and there about it, mostly wishing that it'd be a little painted throughout. This is just pretty much plastic throughout the entire figure. The blue is a darker blue than MP10. It more matches MP1 in color scheme, at least for the blue. Tires are rubber, silver chrome here on the rims, as well as the canisters here on the side. Some chrome here on the front. No real die cast on this guy. The only die cast really is the grill here on the front, as well as this metal piece right here, which I'll show you what that is a little later. Everything else is plastic, which is a bit disappointing. You would kind of hope that this would have more die cast somewhere in it, but again, it's just what it is. This is Magic Square's first take on an MP size figure, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe they just have to get used to it. Not too sure exactly. But there is another option that I will review in the future and give a pretty good comparison between the two. So stay tuned for that, of an MP size Optimus Prime. But really, that's about it for the detail on this guy in truck mode. Let's move on to comparisons. For comparison, we'll bring in the hefty boy that is MP-01. Get a good view there, and you can see how much time has really up the game for Optimus Prime and his MP size. This guy is heavy as can be, but still, overall, a much better looking cab. More of what you want to have in an MP figure of my Optimus Prime, but really, a very nice improvement. Secondly, we do have MP10, and you can really see hopefully the color difference that I can see. This one, you can definitely tell the plastic and the paint that is on this guy is a lot more than this one. Much more matted in this guy. Very good figure overall, both of these two, but it really depends on if you would like to upgrade your MP10 to a Magic Square, or like a TE, or even MP44 later on down the road. So it's really up to you. I do like this guy. I don't know if he is good enough to replace MP10 though. Now on to transformation. So first what we're going to do is separate this piece from the side of the cab on both sides so that we can separate the legs, and we'll work down here first. Down here on the bottom, we'll lift this little tab right here all the way up, bring this undone, lift this forward, and from here lift this up as well. From here disconnect the wheels. There is a bit of a tab and a slot right there you're going to disconnect it from, so you can bring the leg upwards to start having a little more clearance to move things around down here. Down here for the toes, maneuver these around so you can bring it out. Same with the front of the foot. Maneuver that around as well. As you can tell right here, this came loose, so what we're going to do is rotate this around to make the leg look even. Back here on the back again, as you move this forward, you're going to rotate this downwards, this all the way in as well. There's a bit of a clearance thing here, so you got to be used to that. Rotate that around, bring that in. There is a slot right there and a little tab right there. Sometimes if you click it in, it goes right in, like it did right there. Sometimes it doesn't, so be kind of prepared for that. Otherwise, rotate this around. Another thing to be aware of is this right here, this little tab. You might have to put it downwards so that it slips underneath the leg. Push this in, which slots in nicely. Rotate that up, which slots in nicely as well. And one leg is done. Over to this side, we are going to do the exact same thing. Bring that up, bring this up a little bit here. Rotate this upwards and this all the way around. Bring the wheels loose from the side of the cab, which will then let you move the entire leg piece down. Come down here to the toes. Maneuver these outwards to make it even so that the foot will sit nice and straight. Rotate this around. As you do this, make sure you fold this in. This all the way in the best you can. Maneuver it around. Again, there's that slot that you need to watch for as you push this in. This leg on mine gives me a bit of trouble. Let's see if it works. Cross in some fingers. Ooh, yeah, there we go. There's the first try on that one. That's happened maybe 3 times so far, so nice. I'm glad it happened on camera. Fold that in, rotate this upwards, click it in, and the legs are complete. To the top of Prime, we are going to bring this loose all the way up like so. Fold this up, rotate this around. Once coming forward like so, we are going to take the arms and bring these back to loosen this up and bring this forward to the side. Bring it all the way out to extended and bring that up. Bringing the camera up a little bit more, we can see that a little better on this side. Bring this all the way out as you do. Oh, the panel came loose a little bit there, so be mindful of that. I'll show you that full transformation here in a little bit. Bring it to the side, rotate that up, and that's out of the way. To the front of the cab, you're going to bring this forward to loosen up everything around the side there. Open up the cab windows so that you can loosen these up to bring this downwards. This may get stuck a little bit, so rotate it around, bring it all the way to the back, and rotate this right about there for the time being. Same over here. Bring that down, rotate it around, and leave it there for the time being. This you're going to rotate and rotate. Leave it there. To the back here, we'll rotate this up. Get it nice and even with the cab itself. Bring this piece in, nice and flush. Close the front of the cab, and his chest is complete. Down here for the bottom, then you can go ahead and rotate this around and fold it in to make his chest and his waist meet. Onto the arms. There is a tab back here. You're going to untab it, like so. Rotate this forward to make a little bit of clearance room. From here, rotate the hand around. You don't want to rotate that all the way around too far. You just want to make sure you have enough room to get this panel out here and have this fold in. Oops, have this fold in thoroughly without any issue. As you do, you can rotate this forward and bring it down. Oop. Almost forgot to bring this panel in as well. Let's do this right there. Panel in and bring this in as well. Get that nice and straight as it closes up. Bring this panel right here forward and close it up. As you do, bring this down and rotate, and you have one arm complete. Onto this side that's already a little loose. Take this panel to the back here, disconnect, bring that upwards for some clearance. Bring the hand around as well to leave a little bit of clearance too. Down here. Rotate this up and out. For this piece here, rotate this piece in. This will then fold in, if you can get it around the hand. This is probably the most clearance issue I see. Take this whole part, fold it upwards and in. Then for here, the panel, close it up, extend the hand downwards, and arm number 2 is complete. Last thing you're going to do is open up the small backpack here, rotate the head upwards, line it up, and his antennas. And there you have Optimus Prime, aka MS-01 Light of Freedom, in his robot mode. Overall, it's a pretty nice looking Prime, something I have noticed over time and the many times I've transformed this. These fingers are a bit loose. They stay closed right there, but sometimes they do maneuver down. Luckily, it's kind of staying together at the moment, but that is something to pay attention to. Yeah, see, yeah, right there. It just kind of falls down a little bit here and there, but overall, it's what it is. Articulation for this guy, full rotation at the elbow. You can get decent motion if you put it all the way out like so, to get his arm all the way up, about that far. Bring it down. Good rotation here at the elbow, all the way up. And if you disconnect things, it does come a little farther up like so. But about that far on the elbow. Good rotation here at the chest if you wanted to have him pose to open up his cab to reveal. You could if you open up the hands and go from there. But overall, good rotation and movement there at the arms. Rotation all the way around here at the waist. Get a full rotation. You can even get a good bend here at the waist as well. Even looking up, it looks a little unsightly there, but you can do it. Head, full rotation all the way around, up and down. For the legs, you can get movement all the way back, almost touching to the top of the shoulders here with the back of his feet. Come all the way around, get good motion here at the front as well, and to the side. These panels move to the side, they don't move to the back, so you really can't get too much farther back, and they move to the front as well. But that works both ways on this side as well. Very good angle tilt as well, so you can get very good action poses if you like. Well, that is about it for articulation. Another bit of comparison here, we have, of course, his gun, as well as MP10's gun. You can see the size difference there. I really do like this one better. Plus, it doesn't have this weird spring-loaded action. And here he is with MP1's gun, which this one is much better colored. This one is a nice gun overall too, but I just like this one better. Pegging his gun into his hand is as easy as bringing his fingers out all the way, pegging this in, which holds in really nicely. Bring the fingers closed, and there you have it. As well as bringing in his axe, which can be separated like so. Bring his fingers all the way out, which can be brought in just like so. Get it nicely pegged in. Make sure his hand's nice and flat. So then you can take this piece, bring it on up and in to close up his hand, and then you can rotate it to use it however you like. And a bit of an action pose. And for a look of comparison between the primes again, here we have him next to MP10. And overall, this is just a better looking cleanup, even more cartoon accurate than MP10. So it's really up to you what you like, but I do like him better. And of course, MP-01, which towers a bit over him, but again, it's the first MP they have ever made, and he is still pretty great. with the mouth moving. Lastly, let's get him back into vehicle mode. So, first, bring his arms all the way out and up again to move out of the way. We can get these ready by starting to move these panels around. Once again, they are a little tight in there, so you just gotta kind of move them around a little bit. Fold this up as well. Bring this down to be ready to move out in just a minute. Move the hand up just a little bit to be able to bring this piece all the way out. Once it wants to rotate all the way out like so, bring this little panel out as well. This will rotate around. Bring this in like so. Rotate the hands. If you have the hands looking correct, normally that is the best way to put it. It will go in just fine, not coming loose at all. Take the entire hand, move it around and down like so. This will then rotate to the back like that. And there is a slot here on the elbow, right where the elbow is, and there is the peg into it. Sometimes it lines up, sometimes it doesn't. Looks like I got lucky this time. Get it looking as best you can for the time being, and move on to the other hand. Same story over here, just get this loose, maneuver this around to get it out of the way. Bring this up like so. Get the hands rotated up a little bit so you can get this whole back piece out. Your mirrors may come off in the process of doing this, so just be aware. Happens all the time with this guy. Get that folded out. Take this panel right here again and rotate that out. Fold this one up, rotate it all the way in. Take your hand, rotate it in. Bring this forward like so. Rotate it to the side. This whole panel will then fold backwards in there and into his elbow if you have it lined up. Like I said, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I find it easier to peg into the elbow first and then maneuver from the front. But it's a pain sometimes. Just like so. Maneuver the window and the door up, and arms are done. Back here for the head, rotate the head downwards. As you do, move the antenna up a little bit. This will slowly fold in. You gotta make sure the antenna are up just enough so that it goes into the backpack fine without touching anything. And close that up the best it can for the time being. Bring all this up on that hinge, which helps with the clearance. Open this piece up to bring the entire cab front out. Rotate this around. Bring these pieces out. Rotate this around to get ready for a little bit later. Take this, rotate this around, and bring these up just like so. As you do, line it up. These will then collapse into those panels. Close this up, just like so. And the front of the cab is complete. Back here. How I find to put these arms the easiest is to bring them all the way back on that hinge. Push them in to make it even, and then hold on to that as you rotate this forward, which will then sit flush with the cab, just like so. The door kind of doesn't always stay in there, but it will when you maneuver it a little bit. This side, the same thing. To rotate that back, get that downwards and even. Hold on to this as you rotate the arm forward, and then just even out the door. Now I will take the time to put the mirror back on. Moving down to the legs. Take this piece out of the back of the cab, which will then rotate this around. You are going to line it up with that slot right there, the slot right here. And once you do, and you have it even, if you can, then you will see that that is straight and ready to go. And the door came loose again. Back here for the legs, we can work on them finally. This, I have torn my finger open on it once, so be careful. Back here, there is no real way unless you have a tool to get that out without hurting your finger, like I just did again. Bring that out. Bring this all the way out. Rotate it up. As you do, then you can maneuver the leg a little bit. Bring the wheels out and start to rotate those around. As you do, you can start to fold this out to get around the best you can. Bring that all the way out and bring that forward. Once you have it like this, you can bring the toes in from the back, rotate that in, and bring the top part of the foot in as well to make that as even as you can, like so. This panel, flip this around, click it in. Back to the bottom here, you're going to bring it all the way down, make that as even as you can. There is this little slot right here. Evenly push that in there. Down here for this panel, you're going to rotate this in, this all the way in. That peg will slot in right there. Bring this up and click it in, bring that down. And lastly, line this up with the front of the cab. Same story for this side. Try not to hurt myself. All right, that was a little better. Bring that up, rotate that up. Start to bring the leg loose enough to maneuver the toes inwards. Same with the front. Maneuver that together the best you can, like so. That panel, flip it around. Bring the wheels forward and rotate those around. As you rotate them, you can then maneuver this loose and up, just like the other side. Bring the whole back piece of the leg up, even that out, even that. Down here for the bottom, rotate that around, sit it flush, bring this up, click it in, and bring that down, and we are finished. Oh, well, almost. Click the two legs together. And now we're finished. Back in truck mode. Overall, Magic Square's first attempt at an MP figure is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good figure all the way around. A not too bad Optimus Prime. I really wish that they may have put some paint on this guy. The transformation's actually pretty fun. There is a couple spots where you might hurt yourself or maybe even stab yourself because there is some sharp plastic around where the legs are. But overall, the transformation, like I said, is pretty fun. This guy, would I recommend replacing MP10 with? It's really up to you. This is more of the MP10 look compared to how they're going with MP44 and making it look more like the cartoon, and how TE is going as well, and they're making it look like the cartoon. So it's really up to you. I would recommend checking out more reviews on this guy from other people if you like, and even checking out my TE review when it comes along. Maybe that would be helpful. I do plan on making a pretty comprehensive look between those two and MP10, maybe even a couple pictures of MP44 on the side to really help you with your decision. The price in this guy is a lot cheaper than MP44, so again, that is something to look at as well. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do plan on making more videos in the future on some MP figures. This is one of my first go-ats at trying to get those done. So if you liked it, please like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you again next time.